Hey everybody, this is Alma coming to you from Long Beach, California. Today is Thursday, April 30th of the year 2020, and this is my 18th FlossTube. So welcome everybody to my Alma's Little Wonders. Welcome back to all of your returning viewers and subscribers. Thank you as ever for your continuing support. And if you're new, then welcome. Happy to have you. I hope that you like what you see. You find a reason to stay and subscribe and continue to follow me on my stitching journey. First and foremost, I do want to give a shout out back to a fellow FlossTuber. Her name is Audrey. She is StitchWitch42, I believe, both on Instagram and FlossTube. We'll go ahead and link her channel down below in the description box, but I do understand she did give me a very nice shout out on her video a few days ago. So if you've come here from Audrey's channel, then welcome and thank you. Thank you for giving me a chance. I hope that you do like what you see. And thank you, Audrey, if you are watching this, then thank you very much for your kind words. And happy belated birthday. it was her birthday a few days ago. But I hope that you're all doing well, and you're staying safe and sound, and taking all the precautions, even though things are slowly but surely starting to look like they're going, towards a new normal. Things are still good with us, thank goodness. We're still very much sheltering in place. I don't think we'll be going out that much until we feel like it's absolutely safe. So even if orders are lifted, which last I heard is going to be mid-May, we may still, take a little bit of time to actually go out. Which means that, I still have my craft to keep me busy, keep me sane, and yeah, just keep us entertained. Try to fill as much time as possible. So last weekend was very much a very productive weekend, a very eventful weekend. If you didn't watch my previous video that I filmed last week on Thursday, last weekend, and the reason why I didn't film on my normal day, Saturday, is because last weekend was the 24 Hours of Cross Stitch Marathon that Jen Lee at Quirks and Stitches hosts periodically throughout the year. The first event was, I think, in January, I believe, and then the second one was this last weekend. So there's plenty of people that participate, I'm sure, but this fun, because we were all in the shelter-in-place orders, it felt like a lot more people participated, or maybe it was just because I was already involved, so it felt like a lot of people were involved, but it felt very much like a wide event. So for those 24 hours, I did reach the 24 hours. I got to 29. I kept counting. I'm like, I wonder how many I can actually get in. So I got to 29. And what I did was I tried to focus on at least one piece a day. However, you know me, I rarely do just one piece a day. So I think overall, I ended up stitching on five pieces. The first piece that I focused on last weekend was my Wonder Woman piece. This is a Tilton Crafts chart based on Danielle Kordick's design, and I started this last November with the goal of stitching 10,000 stitches by the end of the year. So she's also my Whip Go piece for April. So I decided to go ahead and just use her for the sake of making sure that she did get plenty of stitches done. I'm still very much in the background, as you can see. I'm working on black currently because you know me and black. Apparently we have a love-hate relationship. But I did stitch 689 stitches on her throughout the day. The total stitch count for the month was 1,622 stitches, which was well above and beyond. The Whip Go goal for the month was 1,000 stitches. So I had already reached the goal before the 24 hours marathon, and so I just really kept going on that one. The second piece that I focused on that weekend was my Heaven and Earth Designs chart June, based on Anna Dittman's design, or artwork. And this one I started back in February, I think. And she has become one of my favorite pieces. She's part of a series that Anna Dittman does, where she does 1 month of the year. And last weekend I managed 894 stitches. And I think the reason why I went so fast is because I was really only working on the green. So all of this area, so instead of trying to fill in the blank on the first page, I decided to go ahead and start working on the next page and focus on the green. It was also mostly because it was kind of hard to see, like, because I kept taking pictures throughout the day, like hour 1, hour 2, and for the beginning, like, I did fill in some parts, so I did work on a 3rd or 4th color which is ecru, so it wasn't that exciting, but you couldn't really tell, like, even though I was filling in empty spaces, you couldn't really tell you couldn't see the process, the progress. So I decided I'll just go ahead and start in a new section so that you can clearly see what I've gotten done so far. Throughout the course of the month, June got 1,628 stitches done, which is great, because I do want to keep working on her, because I am starting her sister piece at the end of June, so I want to get as much done on her. I think I'm either at 2% or just below 2% done. So, and I'm already gonna be starting a new piece, so I'm just like, okay, let's see how much I can get done before the sister comes along. And then the third piece that I focused on over the weekend was my Mystic Stitch chart, Change of Seasons 2. I started this for Leap Day along with Zakia of Lady Wing Designs, and the goal is to finish it, or finish half, I should say, finish half by the next leap day in 4 years. And for that one, I got 702 stitches done over the day. So I am almost done with the color and the first page, which I'm very excited about. The first page is I think it ends like somewhere in the middle of the last grid or row. So yeah, so I'm very excited. But at this point, I don't know if I think instead of filling in, I think I'll keep doing that color just for the sake of finishing that color, because it is a lot. And then I'll go ahead and start the second color. But that piece got 1,690 stitches over the course of the entire month. So it's gotten good progress. And that piece I also used, so a little side event that happened last weekend was Jessie Marie's birthday, of Jessie Marie Does Stuff. So she did a birthday sal for her birthday, so it had to do with time, anything that had to do with time. Either there was, like, you could have some, if there's a clock or a watch in your piece, you could use that. Anything that has to do with seasons or holidays, anything to mark a point in time, you can go ahead and use it for the sal. So obviously that piece fit the description. And we were able to wish her happy birthday. Lately, and one of the saving graces of this whole quarantine is there's been a lot of Zoom meetups between stitchers. So we were able to wish her happy birthday, even though we were all in our own homes, which was really nice. Just having those meetups. One meetup is hosted by Becca of Sambry Stitches. She does them twice a week, and it's great. Like, if you can't go to both, you can go to one or the other. But it's just really nice to be able to just spend some time, even if it is just virtually, spend some time with some stitchers, kind of, you know, keep each other company while we work on the craft that we all love. So thank you, Becca, for hosting those. And I also joined the virtual stitchers Zoom meetups. I'm pretty much there like daily. Again, because that one is like an international group, so there's always somebody on. You just have to let them know, like, okay, I'm logging on now. So so it's nice, again, just to spend some time with other people doing the craft we all love. So back to the 24 hours of cross stitching. The next focus piece was my Snow Girl chart. Again, this is a Tilton Crafts chart based on Daniel Cordick's artwork. I started this for Full Coverage Fanatics 20 in 20 challenge. So you have to stitch 20,000 pieces by the end of 2020. 20,000 stitches. Did I say pieces? Stitches. So that's a little bit of a higher goal than normal, but it's okay. I think I can do it. This weekend alone, I did 668 stitches. Over the course of the month, it got 1,172 stitches done. So I've been trying to balance it out between doing white and a color. So I did both throughout the weekend. I did both white on white, but then I also mixed it in with a color just for the sake of my own sanity. But this, I think this one will get that goal accomplished. It's not that hard. Like, once you do get in the groove of doing the white on white, I do have to have good lighting for it, but I can do it. The next focus piece for the weekend, and for the month, really, was my Haku piece. This is a pattern by Ekaterina Saitova, and this was the whip go number for this month. So for the month of April, it was Haku and Wonder Woman. So I decided to go ahead and pull him out, since it was supposed to be the focus piece. And I started him, so I actually started him at the beginning of the month. And this is what I've gotten done so far. So the halfway point of the piece is pretty much right down here. So in the course of 30 days, I've pretty much, it was mostly half stitch, but I've done pretty much half of the piece already, which is fantastic. And I was very happy because I just started, so I really just started working on the dragon himself yesterday, which is very exciting, because again, just after doing a bunch of blues for the sky, it was nice to actually have some color in there. And I do want to finish him, so seeing how much I got done in 1 month, at first I thought I was only gonna get like a quarter of the piece done in a year, but seeing how I've already like surpassed it and doubled it, I thought, okay, if it keeps going as easy as it's going, then I can definitely get this done this year. So that's the goal. So that was 24 hours of cross stitch. Again, I did 29 hours total over the course of the weekend. Once the weekend was done, it was back to regular, the weekly challenges for my cross stitch groups. For magical stitches, since we just get a half week, because May starts tomorrow, we only got 2 tasks this week. The first task we had was we needed to pick a whip that we wouldn't mind being sequestered with. So if you had to be locked in with just one whip, what would it be? And for that one, I picked my Bilbo piece. And the reason why I picked this piece was because this has a lot of variety. There's color blends, there's half stitches, there's normal stitches, there's outlining and details, there's blends, there's all sorts of things going on here. Oh, and this is by Mandarin's Designs on Etsy. So I thought this would definitely keep me entertained because of all the different stitches that there are. So the task called for 400 stitches, which pretty much got me this arc done. I really just focused on that purple. I think there's 2 shades of purple in there. But yeah, I just mostly focused on this arc here. This piece got 2,286 stitches done this month. So yeah, it was unintentional, but it became like the most worked on piece this month. So, and I do, because again, I do want to finish it this year. This is another one. This was my New Year, New Start piece. And I remember when I started it, I said, okay, I want to start something small so that I actually have a chance of finishing it before the end of the year. And I think the reason why also, why I got so much done is because there's a lot of half stitches in here. So I just count them all as one, because when you click it on Pattern Keeper, it counts as one thing done, one stitch done. So yeah, it's, you know, 2,200 stitches, but there's a lot of half stitches in there. So take that for what you will. And then for magical stitches, the next thing we had to work on was we had to work on any whip that had our favorite color, and we needed to give the DMC code or the name or whatever. If it's like a special hand-dyed floss, they had to give the name of it. I do have a favorite color. It's DMC 3808, which is a really deep blue-green, like a teal color. And it actually is, it's used on Bilbo. It's gonna be used on the door, but I hadn't gotten there. Like when I did the homework, I hadn't really gotten there yet. So I took the penalty option for that one and just did Hogwarts. I pulled out my Hogwarts piece. This pattern is by The Stitching Girl on Etsy. However, I did buy this back in 2016, so the pattern isn't, it's not available anymore. But I did get those 200 stitches done. It would have been 100 if you actually did your favorite color, but penalty was double. It was 200. So I am working on filling in the castle now, which is why I think it's also going a little bit slower, because now it's like, okay, well, it's a lot of confetti, it's a lot harder to work on it. What I'm doing now for this one and for the Haku piece is I'm literally just sitting down with like all of my DMC boxes. I have 4 boxes because I have pretty much the entire collection. So I have my 4 boxes and I just sit down and that one, because normally, since I only work with a couple of colors at a time, if I do need to switch colors, I have to like go grab the next one and then come back and settle down. So instead of having to constantly be getting up for it, I just decided to just bring them all to my station, put on a movie, and get down to business. But Hogwarts got 1,815 stitches done over the entire course of the month. So I'd say it's not half bad, to be honest. And then for Enchanted Stitching, so that group didn't come out with their prompts until I think Tuesday or so, which was fine because I mean for magical stitches I finished both prompts in one day, so I was happy. So cool. Next, the first prompt we have this week was we needed to work on a whip that we found relaxing. So either the picture itself, like the design, was relaxing, or it just relaxed us, like when we were stitching it. So for that one, I brought out my Gold Collections kit from Dimensions. This is stacked teacups, and I haven't worked on this in a while, so that's That was the main reason why I took it out. So I just made it fit the prompt. I just said that I enjoyed working on the background because it was all one color and it was half stitch, so it wasn't easy. And it's kind of hard to tell, but the pattern does repeat. So once you know what the pattern is, it's just repetition. And for enchanted stitching, you can work the prompts two ways. You can either count your stitches or do it by time. So for this one, I didn't particularly feel like counting my stitches because it's a lot of empty space. So I just did it by time. So yeah, I put in 2 hours, but that got me halfway done. Like this is pretty much the halfway point of the piece. So I got half of the background done. I think what I'm gonna do is I'll go ahead and just because I did prepare the floss for when I keep stitching on it, so I'm gonna go ahead and work on the top part and do everything, do stitching, do back stitching before coming down to the second half. And ideally I would also finish this before the end of the year. And another prompt that we have for enchanted stitching was we needed to find a whip that we have had a change of heart with. So of course I brought out my teacup display. If this is the first time joining, this is a kit that I was actually gifted. I didn't buy this myself. It's a Design Works chart based on Joan Elliott's artwork. It's called Teacup Display. And I decided to go ahead and use all the materials that came with the kit, floss and Aida, 14 count Aida. But the floss itself is different than what the product image is. The product image, like I can see, is like a lot of pastel blues. It's China patterns, you know, so those China patterns have a very specific tone of blues associated with them. And the blues in my kit are very much like sky blue and navy blue. And as I was working on this, I also ran out of one of the colors. I ran out of this light green that is part of the shading. So yeah, so when I read that prompt, I automatically knew I was gonna be working on this. This week, this got 476 stitches. I do want to finish this as soon as possible, so I will be using it for my mania focus. So going into mania plans, since those are all the tasks that I've worked on so far, the enchanted stitching challenges, because they were posted a little bit later, they've gone ahead and just given us to the end of the weekend, like a normal weekly challenge, as opposed to cutting it off at the end of the month. So Mania is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited. I've loved watching the Mania plans. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I enjoy watching the Mania plans more than I do like the actual Mania videos. I don't know, there's just something about seeing everybody be pumped up about what they're going to do. Because then, most of the time, people, it depends on the person, but a lot of times plans change as they go along. So I feel like that's also why I enjoy the planning more. It's because those are generally like super like over the top, and then once it actually gets done, it's like, oh wait, I can't actually do all these things. I'm not doing the original version of Mania. Originally, Mania is supposed to be you start 15 projects in the course of the month. Some people do a project a day. I'm not about that life. I have 23 whips on the go, and for me that's plenty. So my Mania will be to focus on previous Mania pieces. Last year I focused, I think, on 7 pieces, if I recall. So this year what I want to do, and out of those 7 pieces, I still have 4 going. One of them was my princess, or yeah, Princess Aurora, my Sleeping Beauty piece. So that one already got worked on this year, and I did reach the goal. I wanted to do a page finish by the end of the year, so I've done that. So I'm not including that in my mania rotation, at least not this year. But the other 3 pieces I'll go ahead and give each 5 days. So teacup display is one of them. I'm supposed to, in no particular order, I just already had this out, so I'm going to show it to you again. So this is going to get 5 days, and the goal is to finish it. I want this done, so I'm actually going to be go ahead. I'm going to do the border. It has a lot of back stitching, so I'm going to do that first, back stitch the bows here, and then I'll go ahead and move forward with the saucer and the teacup. So that's one. My second piece that I'm going to be focused on this month will be my Hogwarts piece. So again, this is what it looks like, and for that one I want to do at least 2,000 stitches over the course of 5 days, because that's what I normally would do minimum throughout the course of the month. But again, I'm not basing it on stitch count this time around. I'm just gonna go straight up, just 5 days focused. I may work on other pieces, but that's going to be like strictly focusing on those pieces as much as I can. Again, if I do need a break from that piece, I'll go ahead and work on something else. Another one of the 2019 Mania pieces that I had going last year was my Peter Pan piece. This is my oldest WIP. I started this back in 2013, so I want this done as well. And for this one, the goal is to do at least 1,400 stitches, because that's what I normally do throughout the course of the month. But again, if I can do more, great, better, because I want this done. Right now I'm at 82% completion. So yeah, so that's going to get 5 days. Hopefully, again, hopefully I'll get more than those 1,400s. I typically do like 500 stitches on this a day per week, or a week, so yeah, it should be fine. If anything, I would probably get 2,000 stitches as well. And then the third piece that I'm going to be focusing on is the watercolor floral. This was actually my mania start last year. I started this on May 1st. The goal for this piece for the year is to finish a page. I haven't really worked on this at all, so like if you're like, I haven't seen that one, it's probably because I don't take it out that often. This is what I have done so far. I'm pretty sure the page is like this much. I would have to check, but yeah, I'm not quite sure at the moment. But so mania goal is to go ahead and go for that page finish. This isn't Pattern Keeper compatible, so it is one of the not hardest per se, but the chart is just kind of difficult to read. I'm used to just doing black and white charts with symbols, and this one's a colored chart, so sometimes it's just hard to discern which colors I'm supposed to use. But ironically, or coincidentally, this was my WIPGO focus for me. Jessie Marie did go ahead and call out the numbers for me, and the numbers were 4 and 20, and this is my number 4. So I was like, great, I was going to go ahead and work on that anyways. And then June was my number 20, just putting that up there. So yeah. So again, just both of them are pieces that I already was going to focus on. But so those are 3, so that's 15 days. So that's the first half of May, or 4. show you three? So it was Hogwarts Peter Pan, teacup display, which wasn't the focus last year because I hadn't started it then, but it is one of the focus, and then watercolor floors. So that's 20. I can count, I swear. 20 days. On the 21st, as a reward, I'm gonna go ahead and start another Heaven and Earth Designs chart. This is Mini Midnight Stroll, and the artwork is by Julie Fine. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that, but I am gonna be starting this on the 21st. I showed this to Tess from Tess Stitches, and she absolutely adored it. So she's gonna be starting it with me May 21st. So if you want to go ahead and join, feel free to join. It's a gorgeous place. We both fell in love with the colors because her favorite color is purple. So I knew it. Like, I'm like, hey, look, this is what I'm starting, and she was sold. But yeah, that's the plan for Mania. So next time I see you, I'll be showing you in 10 days. So I'll probably be showing you Hogwarts and Peter Pan, because so there's a little bit of a caveat with Hogwarts, because Hogwarts is my only pattern keeper piece for Mania, and my boyfriend's currently working from home, so if he needs to take a conference call in our computer room, then I have to step out. So the reason I'm starting it on Hogwarts first is because it's the weekend, so hopefully it'll get 3 days of full focus. But you have to, like, if I have to pause if I have to pause during the week, because he normally takes conference calls like all day. So the plan is to go ahead and focus on it for the weekend, and then give Peter Pan its 5 days, Monday through Friday, and then I'll go ahead and give Hogwarts its final 2 days on the weekend. So I'll have Hogwarts and Peter Pan to show you next time. Fingers crossed. But yeah, those are my plans. Magical Stitches did release some of its extra credit assignments for the month, and I know for a fact that I will be able to work on one of them. I'm using Peter Pan for that one, and then there's also a second prompt that's you have to stitch on something with a lady, so I'll be using June. So June will be my backup if I need to take a break from my focus pieces. I'll go ahead and use her as a backup so I can get the whip go, because for whip go I need to do 2,000 stitches is the goal for the month. So she'll be my backup. When I start Midnight Stroll, I'm gonna go ahead and give her 5 days of focus, but she is pattern keeper, so again I'll try to do what I can with the time that he gives me when he's not on conference calls. But after I give her the 5 days, it's a free-for-all, so I'll use the remaining days to work on whatever I feel like working on. I'm kind of leaning towards picking up Teacup Display again, because I'm so close to a finish. I might as well just keep going, but we'll see, because I also do have the Magical Stitches and Enchanted Stitching challenges to do if they fit. Magical Stitches does offer the penalty option, so I feel like I will go ahead and do those prompts anyways, because I can just work on whatever I'm focusing on at the moment. But Enchanted Stitching challenges, they're more open about interpretation, but they don't offer the penalty option. But for Magical Stitches, the second prompt has to do with a lady, so I'll use June. The third one is we need to work on a piece that we made a mistake on, but we overlooked it, so I'm using Teacup Display for that one. And the fourth one, we need to pick between Epcot and Hollywood Studios, so I'm gonna be using Peter Pan because I'm pretty sure, I have to double check, but I'm like 95% sure that England is in the World Showcase in Epcot, and Peter Pan takes place in London. And then the fifth one is we need to watch a movie. We need to watch a movie that is based on Japan, because again, we're doing the World Showcase, and Japan is included in there. So we needed to watch a movie that's based in Japan. We have to choose between Cars 2, Big Hero 6, and then we need the Pooh series, because we knew the Pooh was produced in Japan. So I'm doing Big Hero 6, and for those, you can stitch on whatever you want, as long as you take a shot of like your stitching and like the screen, the movie in the background, and you have to take the before and after shots. So at least the extra credit assignments will work this month. Again, the weekly assignments, I can do the penalty stitches for magical stitches. We'll see what I do with enchanted stitching. I'll try to fit them in as well. So yeah, sorry for rambling on the last bits. Like, okay, future plans, May plans. We're already talking about May plans, so might as well. But thank you for sticking through. Again, lots of things planned. I hope that I can work through most of my things. I really, it seems like a simple thing to do. I've already given myself, like, again, June will be my backup if I do need to take a break from focus pieces. So I really do hope to get things done, especially with teacup display. I just want to finish that, and I'm already getting the sense that I'm getting close to it, because I've already done with the border, besides the back stitching. But yeah, again, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope that you are all taking care of yourselves, as I mentioned in the beginning of my video. Feel free to ask me any questions about anything you see in my videos. I always make a point of including the information in the description box, but again, if you have any questions, any doubts, feel free to either leave a comment down below or reach out to me via Instagram. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. So yeah, until I see you next week, I'll go ahead and go back to my regular day of filming on Saturdays. I hope you all take care, and wishing you happy stitching. Happy mania. Bye guys.